Hey everybody, my name is Miles. I am the owner and founder of Cane & Lasers out of northern Indiana, and I have a Instagram, Facebook, as a lot of you who follow me already know, but a lot of my content seems to be a little, I guess, mundane, if you will. It's kind of rinse and repeat, same things over and over, and I don't really like that. It's gotten boring for me, in all honesty. So today I decided to launch my YouTube channel, and I have another video that I made that I'll be posting that was intended to be the pilot, but last night, as I'm preparing for a wedding this weekend, Sam from Laser Marking Technologies got in touch with me, and a while back I did this really cool knife that I engraved, and he asked if I had it. Well, I gave it to my brother-in-law for Christmas this past year, and I had another one identical to it, so I figured I would actually make this video right here my pilot video, because it's cool. It pertains more to what I specialize in. So what we're going to be doing is I'm taking this knife right here. As you can see, it's just cool flat blade, a lot of real estate to engrave on, and I am going to be doing an engraving on it, replicating the knife that I did for my brother-in-law over Christmas. With that said, we're going to dive in. I'm going to do a start to finish of the whole thing, and show you how I take it apart and so on and so forth to get ready to go under my laser that's sitting right here next to me, which I'll show as well. But before that, guys, I want to give a big shout out to all of our veterans, active service members, law enforcement, doctors, nurse practitioners, nurses, and the like, because I decided to do this channel mainly for you guys as a way to help you guys out if you dabble in this kind of work that I do, and just, you know, a way to show my appreciation. A little bit about myself: I am a veteran as well, and I was in the Army for 6 years. I was in the Air Force for 2 years, and I started Cane & Lasers with the intent of doing something along these lines, and really focusing on the veteran community as my main priority with this, because veterans and active service members, obviously you guys hold a very special place that's near and dear to my heart, and I just wanted to do something as a way to honor you guys and maybe help you gain a skill set if this is something that you're going down and you want to learn how to do. I am a Type 7 FFL, and I am also a certified Cerakote applicator. This is what I do for a living. So I specialize in custom firearms, knives, anything in that category. But I also focus heavily on motocross. That is a sport that has always been very near and dear to me since, gosh, I think even since I could walk. My dad put me on a bike when I was, what, 3 years old, 5 years old, somewhere in there if I remember right, and I've been riding my entire life. I just have a heart for it, and all these things that I do. So I got tired of working as an engineer, you know, putting 80 hours a week in every week and running myself into the ground, and just decided to do something that I just am passionate about and truly enjoy doing. So here we are. I really hope that you guys enjoy what I put out. I'm very meticulous in everything that I do. So right now, not only am I working on this knife, but I have a Ruger precision rifle that I'm going to be doing. I have some cool projects coming in from some clients of mine peppered throughout the US. I've got several dirt bikes, a side-by-side, some four-wheelers that I'm doing some work to in the next few weeks. So I'm going to be doing a wide range of things, and it's neat. I like it. I enjoy it. And I certainly know that I'm not the only one that enjoys this kind of stuff. But I figured, like I said, I would do something to give you guys a deeper look into the process and how I do things. So with that said, guys, let's get started on this. I'm gonna cut to the knife and how I take it apart, and then we'll hop over to the laser, and we'll get some cool footage there. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy what you... So here what we're gonna do first is we're gonna start disassembling this. I'm gonna start taking these screws out, these three, and then this guy and this blade should come right out of here. So we're gonna go through that right now. This is just a generic Gerber knife. It's nothing super high-end, just a neat little project, but the blade's pretty stinking sharp itself. So here, these are all Torx screws, so I'm using a T7 Torx bit to get these apart. I'm just going to set them aside here. And then if you look, we have these little bushings right inside of here, right there and right there and right there. All those are going to drop out once I pop this guy off. So there's a different size. The three small ones were a T7. This big one's a T8. So I'm just going to kind of hold it firmly here and just back this guy out. And then let's see here. I know there's a bearing in there. Maybe let's try to open it. Let's take this flathead. I'm just going to kind of see if I can wiggle it loose here. Just going to push on that. Pop this screw out. Set that to the side. Take the bottom. Let's see here. Oh, forgot there's a screw underneath there. So this fourth one here is a T7 as well. Set that one aside, and here we go. So just like that, there's nothing to it. Just be mindful of your parts, because there's some little like roller bearing so that you can see here. So I'm just gonna pop this guy out, and I'm gonna leave him right there and just set this aside. Now the knife blade is... Alright guys, so the first step of setting it up in the laser is getting your Z and your Z axis in focus. Your Z axis is how the head, where it focuses in on your part at 0. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to move the camera a little closer and try to get you set up here. So as you can see, I got the knife blade laying in the bed, and then I have my height gauge. Okay, so when I'm working with weird contours or things that aren't perfectly level, what I do, and this is just a method that I've learned over time, is I will, depending on the size of the substrate or what I'm engraving on, I will do anywhere from 1 to 5 different measurements from 0, which is the base plate, to any given surface of the substrate. And what I'll do is, once I get those measurements, I'll add them all together and I'll take the average. Okay, so in this one, I already have a pretty good idea of what I think it's going to be, but I'll show you how I do it. So I'll come to the lowest edge. Okay, first I make sure I zero out my height gauge. Okay, and then I will come over to the lowest edge where I want the laser to go, and I'll make sure I'm holding the knife blade the way it's going to lay in the laser, so you can hear that metallic noise. It's flat right there, but there's a curve. So I'm going to go down, okay, and that's 0.065. Okay, so that's our first measurement. And then I'm going to go up to the very top, and that's 0.1. So, and this is in inches, just in case you guys are wondering. So what I'll do is I'll do 0.065 plus 0.1 equals 165 thousandths. Divide that by 2, and our focal point is going to be 82 and 5/10 thousandths. So I'm going to pop over to the laser now. I can take my height gauge because I'm done with it. Now we're going to step over to the computer. Okay, and I have my outline here. Okay, and I just have it centered. Now I have to size this too to fit it. So 0.08, what did I say it was? 0.0825 on my z-axis. Okay, I'm going to hit apply, F1, and I'm going to home it. So now you guys can see that my auto Z is traversing to focus in on that knife blade. Okay, now I don't know if you can see the red light, but let me try to get in here. I don't know if the camera will capture it. Yeah, you can see it. So it's lighting up red right there. Excuse the gnarly cut on my hand. I was fell victim to a power washer last week when we got back from the off-road park. So here's the outline, and it looks pretty stinking close already. So I'm just going to flip the blade and we'll do that. So here we go. Whoops. Okay, sorry. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you again here real fast. Now you can see that I have the blade lined up and it's red lighting all the way around the outside perimeter of the blade. So now what I do, okay, is I'm going to come over to my computer, and I have the blade centered in my engraving or a work envelope, we'll call it. So I'm just going to move this outline, or well, here real quick I'll show you. So I'm going to select a different pen box real quick just to give this thing a different color. This is actually what I'm designing, so I'm going to hit center, and you can see they overlap perfectly. So I'm just going to move this guy down, move him over, recenter this. And I've already selected my parameters for this and my pin boxes, which are right here, and then my parameter library. Now, I know that guys that are already in the know of this or just starting out, you guys are going to be asking what my parameters are, etc. Well, unfortunately, not all lasers are the same, and you can have the machine identical to mine, but your parameters are going to vary slightly. So I have a whole library of parameters that I've done, and it's been a combination of years of trial and error with this thing. So this is something that you guys are just going to have to figure out on your own. I will give you a pro tip though. The theory of inverse proportion tremendously helped me with this. And if you don't know what that is, check it out. But essentially what you can do is you can take the power and wattage and of other machines. So like, give you an example, if you have a 100-watt machine but you're running a 50 and you want to know someone's parameters and they feel so inclined to share those with you, you can get their machine specs, okay, and the formula of inverse proportion will help you plug their data in compared to what you're using, and it will give you a ballpark of what you can use, okay? So that's about all I'm going to cover on parameters and hatch settings. It's not a way to be rude or anything. It's just I've poured myself into this to get this machine dialed in. So if you guys have questions, feel free to comment, and I will help you to the best of my knowledge. But with that, here we go. So I have the base of my machine is a self-contained dust collection system. It's the filter box basis that Laser Marking Technologies offers as a package with this guy. My machine is the tool marker. It is a 50HO, so that means it's a 50-watt head, but it has a bit of a higher output. So with that being said, I have a little bit more than 50 watts that this thing will put out. That's HO stands for high output. This machine is absolutely incredible. This is not a $5,000 laser system. It's, I'll say it's much more robust and much more reliable. This is not considered a consumable machine. None of the parts or components. Laser Marking Technologies is awesome. They have a 24-hour support staff, and they're located in Caro, Michigan. Brady is their, I guess, customer service tech guy, and he's awesome. He has helped me do all kinds of things on this. He's readily available every time I call. And yeah, it's been great. These guys truly stand behind their product, and my goal is to buy another one. I want to get one of their Cobalt machines. Yeah, they're the big guys. I'd like to be able to do some 3D engraving with it, and they have some really cool attachments and whatnot for these things. So if you guys are in the market for a laser, get a hold of Laser Marking Technologies out of Caro, Michigan. Talk to Rick, and just figure out who is in your region, what have you. And or you guys can always contact me, and I'd be happy to put you in contact with them. Super awesome guys, and yeah, they've been really great to me. So they will be at IMTS coming up here soon, and this knife will be there. So if you guys want to see it in person, go check them out. All right. So we've got the blade all engraved. You can see it. This is straight off the laser. All right, a lot of detail in there. So what I like to do every time I finish an engraving is I just take a little bit of rubbing alcohol and I spray the part down. I take a little wire brush and I just clean the dirt or debris that's left over as a result of the laser. Just wipe it down really good. We'll get both sides here. Okay. And then I'm just going to take my cloth here and just kind of dry it off a little bit. And then the final result is a beautiful engraving. I'm going to show you that. So another thing I decided to do while I was off camera is I made a little display case or a little display holder for this thing out of just some anodized aluminum parts I had laying around. You can see I have my company logo, Canon Lasers, my certification badge, and then all my contact info. And this QR code right here, if you scan it, will take you directly to my Instagram. So that's going to be what holds the knife and keeps it on display at IMTS. One quick thing, guys, with Laser Marking Technologies, I heard back from them. If you guys are at IMTS, they will be located in the East Hall booth. The booth number is 135402. Make sure you stop by and check them out. And if you like dogs, I'm sure little Grinch will be there. He's a Brussels Gryffindor. He's a pretty cool little dog, so check him out. But all right, now we're going to start assembling this. So I have all of my pieces laid out like I did when I took it apart. So what I'm going to do here first is I already have the blade on one piece. Now I'm just going to set the bearing in here. And then I'm going to set this guy on here. Okay, just like that. And then we have this little bushing, this hidden one, if you remember. So I'm going to pop the countersunk screw in here. And these are really small parts, guys. I have some pretty big fingers, so just kind of bear with me a bit. There's that. Screw that guy in. Okay. And the blade wanted to walk a little bit, but that's not a big deal because we can just kind of maneuver it around here. Actually, there we go. Well, I don't like that. Hang on. I think I might have put the bearing in upside down by accident here. So put them in there. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Then we'll just lay it on top, just like so. Kind of keeps it a little bit easier instead of trying to fight with it. There we go. Now we will put this guy in. Just going to press him in here ahead of time because it's relatively tight fit here. There we go. Throw this guy back in. And remember, this one was a T8. Okay, and the rest is pretty simple. So pop this bushing in. This little guy, you can see these things are tiny. So give me a second here. I'm just gonna pop it in. And I'll start the screw in this little guy just kind of as a placeholder for now until I get the other bushing set. Just to keep it from falling out. So then we got the last one, and we'll throw the screw in here and throw the other screw in here, then switch back over to our T7 bit, Torx bit, and just tighten these guys down. Make sure it's lined up. There we go, that should do it. There we go. Okay, so there you have it. Check it out. And again, this will be on display at IMTS. And here's the little stand I made. And I don't know, it'll probably just sit in there, you know, something like this, what have you. thanks for joining me on this little project. In total, I had maybe an hour into this. It didn't really take very long, but there was a lot of prep that I had done ahead of time. I already had the design because, like I said, this is an exact replica of the original one that I made for my brother-in-law. And then the plaque was just some spare parts I had laying around, and was able to make something, I guess, somewhat presentable out of it. So with that said, again, guys, this will be on display at IMTS in the East Hall booth number 135402 with the folks over at Laser Marking Technologies. Make sure that you stop by the booth, check this thing out. They'll have a bunch of other really cool stuff there. I may or may not make an appearance at some point. It just kind of depends on scheduling, so on and so forth. But usually every year, I at least make an appearance at the IMTS show, and every year I'm at SHOT Show out in Las Vegas. So stay tuned. I have some really cool stuff coming up. I've got a Glock 19 frame I'm going to be stipling. I've got a 6-hour P229 I'm going to be Cerakoting, the Ruger Precision Rifle. I have a 1911 that's coming in that I'll be doing some Cerakote work on. I've got a couple ARs I'm going to be building. I have some dirt bike stuff I'm going to be doing, some how-tos, and just all kinds of fancy cool stuff. So if you like what you see here, there's a whole lot more to come. And again, guys, I really appreciate you tuning in and watching my content. This is kind of my first go at this, utilizing some new equipment, and just kind of learning the technology and playing around with all the settings. Again, to all my brothers and sisters, I love you guys, and yeah, stay tuned. Thanks, guys. See ya.